We are BTC Pay Server team. Today, we'll be doing one very practical, hopefully demo workshop and explaining you basics of the BTC Pay Server. So my name is Pavlonex. I do project management for the BTC Pay Server for 5 years now. With me, I have Wouter. You want to tell what you're doing for BTC Pay?
Yeah, my name is Wouter Samay, and I'm an e-commerce developer. I've been a contributor for about 3 years, and I focus on e-commerce. Been doing that for over 12 years, and I focus on merchants, and that's it basically.
He is our e-commerce integration expert. And with us, we have Bas, our mastermind behind the screens, who will help us handle all of these demos because we really want to show you things instead of telling. Personally, that's what I prefer when it comes to presentations. So yeah, this is 3 of us. You can follow us on Twitter. You can follow BTC Pay Server. And let's start. I will give you a little bit of intro, but first I would like to ask a question. How many of you guys know what BTC Pay Server is? Can you raise a hand? Whoa. Okay, we are ending the demo now, since you already know everything. But okay, then we will go quickly through this part. So BTC Pay Server is an open source payment processor. It is a self-hosted software. And like Bitcoin, it is completely free to use. Anybody can use the code, run it on their own server, and you can accept Bitcoin payments. So our pitch line is basically allow anybody to accept Bitcoin payments without any intermediary and without a third party. Because when you're using a BTC Pay server, it is just you and your customer. There is no like a company processing the payments for you. It's just peer-to-peer. You're running this software on your own server or a device, and you're able to accept Bitcoin payments. So calling BTC Pay Server just a payment processor probably doesn't serve it right, because in a way, we do quite a lot of other things. We are like extendable plugins platform because we recently integrated plugins into BTC Pay Server so that people can extend use cases of this payment gateway software to basically do anything they want and build cool things on top of Bitcoin. So you can look at it as a payment platform as well. And it basically has everything you need. When you deploy BTC Pay Server, you get your own Bitcoin node, you have a Lightning node. There are so many apps which we'll demo today that tackle and solve specific user problems. So you can, if you're a merchant, there are many apps that you can use right away. And that's about it. Let's see what's next. Oh, yeah, this is nice. Who is it for? So I like to say that BTC Pay is for anybody, not everybody, but mainly it's for online merchants, retailers as well. Big enterprises actually use BTC Pay Server quite a lot because they prefer to have the control over their own payment infrastructure. And if you think about it, if you're a big merchant and running this software on your own infra, you're saving quite a lot of money. We have merchants who are saving, millions just in fees for using the BTC Pay Server because it's free, and yeah, they love it. Individuals can also use BTC Pay Server. It's a misconception that you need to be a merchant in order to use BTC Pay. We get that quite a lot. People use BTC Pay Server to manage their own Bitcoin node, to just use a wallet, because we do have like internal wallet which you can connect to your hardware wallet, and all sorts of cool things which we'll demo. It's probably better to just show it to you guys. Also, charities use BTC Pay Server to accept donation. We have Human Rights Foundation that uses BTC Pay. There are lots of other projects. Tor project use BTC Pay to crowdfund for their efforts. They are still using BTC Pay to accept donations. So quite a lot of projects actually use us. Okay, so how does it work? I will leave it to expert Wouter to explain you guys.
Yeah, so how does it work? So basically it's a bundle of software, and we have all kinds of applications in there. So we have like NB Explorer is like a server that watches the blockchain and that reads the data and puts it in a database. And then BTC Pay Server, the application itself, it can use that data to show a backend that allows you to like use the data from the blockchain. And So then BTC Pay server itself is exposed on the web using Nginx and also over Tor, so your privacy is protected. We have Lightning nodes, like all three of them. You can choose which one you want to use. It's also secure, so we use a Let's Encrypt certificate for SSL. And yeah, the nice thing is that when a customer buys something on your store, the Bitcoin goes directly into your wallet, into your store's wallet, which is like a hot wallet or a cold wallet. But there are no intermediaries, and that's like the really cool part.
Yeah, I guess that's the use case of BTC Pay Server. It works like Bitcoin is supposed to work, peer-to-peer, without sharing like information with other third party, without people taking fees from you, KYCing you. I guess that's the whole point of this Bitcoin thing that we are doing. Of course, there are like use cases where we want companies to be intermediaries. They will onboard probably, I guess, newbies faster than through this, but it is important that there are options in this space and that people in Nigeria can run BTC Pay Server for their own people in community. So one thing I really don't think many people know, but BTC Pay Server can be run by you, and you can onboard thousands of merchants locally. So you can be payment processor for them in a non-custodial way for on-chain transactions, and hopefully one day for Lightning as well in a non-custodial way. So that's really good use cases. There are like merchants who, instances of BTC Pay Server that have like 10,000 users, which is insane. And since we don't track anything, we don't collect any data, we have no clue who is using us, what for, and how many people are using us. And in a way, that's also good because we don't focus on statistics, numbers. We're just trying to make the best software out there that exists for people to accept payments. And that's very liberating to us specifically. So, thank you. Thanks, guys. Okay, so I guess, how can you run a BTC Pay Server? Wouter?
Yeah,
take it
so
over.
there are lots of ways to run BTC Pay Server. So yeah, you can run it at a data center. So you have a server that's on 24/7. That can be like a cloud server or a VPS. It could be a dedicated machine. Kind of depends on how much traffic you're expecting on your store. Or you can even run it at home, like on a mini computer, like a Raspberry or something similar. And yeah, we also support manual deployments, like any way you want to run it, we can do it. But actually, the preferred way to do it is using Docker, because if you use Docker, then everything is a nicely prepared package, and it's easier to upgrade, and you get all the latest and greatest stuff without having the technical headaches involved. So yeah, that's important. And there are a number of hardware solutions out there that have one-click installs. So that's also easy. So if you're starting out, maybe that's a good way to, yeah, just to try out our software. But we do want to recommend like the Docker deployment because it's like more future-proof and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, right. And also, maybe some of you guys here don't know what BTC Pay Server. You're like looking at two guys in green shirts ranting about accepting Bitcoin payments without intermediaries, but I don't understand like what are they ranting about. So the way I try to explain it to my friends who are new is like, imagine if PayPal, for example, gave their entire infrastructure to the people so that anybody can become their own PayPal in a way and accept payments. Well, in a way, we are doing that, but just for Bitcoin. And if you know WordPress, we are also similar model. We are WordPress for Bitcoin, allowing WordPress for payments for Bitcoin, if that makes any sense. If it doesn't, you know, it's probably a stupid idea to call it that way.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Because of the plugins.
Yes, because of the plugins that we have. Let's see what we have next. Getting started. Now it's time for our master boss behind the screens to give us a demo of how BTC Pay actually works. So let's get started. This is BTC Pay Server user interface. For some of you who have been using BTC Pay for the past few years, you're maybe now wondering, oh, no, it looks way better than it was. This is thanks to our designers and community who is really doing like quite a lot of community outreach, research, talking to people, and we are basically designing BTC Pay Server according to actual user needs. Since we don't track any data, the only way to get feedback from people is actually talking to them. And that's great. People approach us here at the conferences, we have one-on-one conversation, and then we go back to our coding caves and iron things out on the go. So in order to get started with BTC Pay Server, what you need to do is create your store once you're registered on a BTC Pay Server. So let's create a store. We can call it Test Store. Okay, whatever. We can create it. You can choose a default currency. You can choose also price source because we offer like unlimited, quite a lot of price sources where you can fetch it. So if you're like, I don't know, at Kraken maybe, you prefer their source, you can choose them and then fetch prices in fiat through them. After the store is created, this is our flow now. You need to set up your wallet first, and this is for on-chain wallet. So there are two options. You can either connect an existing wallet, which is very important, or you can create and generate a new one. So for example, if you already have a hardware wallet, Ledger, Trezor, Cold Card, you can import it right away, and by using BTC Pay Server, you will be using a wallet with your full node right away. So you don't have to use, for example, Ledger web application or Trezor web application in order to access your funds, which is quite liberating as well. There are quite a few other options, but let's set up a new wallet just to walk you guys through the flow. So let's create a new wallet. And now we have like a hot wallet, which obviously means that keys are on the server. It is a little bit more less secure, but it gives you like a good, I guess, trade-off between usability and security. And you can create a watch-only wallet, which means you generate a wallet, you get your keys, we nuke it from the server. If you don't back it up, well, you know, not your keys, not your Bitcoin, you need to back it up. But with hot wallets, you can send funds. So let's create a hot wallet. There are quite a few advanced options here. If you're a new user, you just click continue and everything works. If you want to play around, we do support SegWit as address type. We do support Taproot as well, so quite a lot of options. So once you create a wallet, here is your recovery seed. Of course, you always write it down, store it securely, and you tick that checkbox because otherwise you cannot click done. So that's it. Now, when you now we have our own wallet inside BTC Pay Server, and there are quite a lot of things you can do with it. But what we would like to demo now isn't a wallet. We can do that a little bit later. But I was telling you guys about different applications that we have in BTC Pay Server. So one of the once you create a wallet, oh, I forgot, we can create a Lightning node bus, right? Let's also, we allow very easy way to deploy Lightning node on top of this server. And you just need to choose if you want your internal node within the server that we deploy for you, or if you have a Lightning node running somewhere else, you can connect it to your server remotely, which is an advanced option, and I don't really recommend it to people, except if you don't want to really play around. So we deploy our node, it's here. Now, this is basically it. You can configure all sorts of advanced options, or you just start accepting Lightning and Bitcoin payments right away in a self-sovereign way completely. So once you do that, there are cool use cases that you can do. One of them is like point-of-sale application, and we do have like this way for you to create a point-of-sale card, so you can load it up on your tablet, and maybe Bas can show us now how that would look. Yeah, this is the creation flow of the point-of-sale. We have quite a few apps, but let's, yeah, Amsterdam, whatever, yeah. And we do deploy it with quite a lot of predefined stuff. So if you go to the view right away, you will see, you can also select, Bas, can you select the shop, yeah, not the keypad, but the other one. Okay, card one, yeah, perfect. Go to view. And this is how it looks. Basically, it's a point of sale system. If you're a merchant, you just edit out the items, add items, and you can accept Bitcoin. Maybe we can test it. I don't have my wallet here with me. I left it in the back. But if you click on the item, you can click on view, and then you can choose if you want to tip somebody. You click pay. And what BTC Pay does is create an invoice for you. If somebody wants to, you can scan QR code from here if you can fetch it. But that's pretty much the flow. You accept it, it get marked as paid, it will land immediately inside your wallet. So, besides this here, oh, somebody paid. Thank you, generous stranger. We'll make sure to use that one set wisely. So besides that, we've been really tinkering about how we can solve these specific problems that people have. And besides doing it through web, somebody came up with an idea. It was like a guy from Stick from Satoshi Labs came to us and he demoed us like integrating BTC Pay Server within an actual point-of-sale device, which Wouter will now show you as well.
Yeah. So this is like a point-of-sale terminal. It runs Android 11. So it's a smartphone with a label printer, ticket printer, NFC reader. It even has like a QR scanner in the back. And yeah, it's like very versatile. So it's a little bit small, but I hope you can see. But here we have like a keypad. I can just type in the amount. And then, let me just do that. And then we see the same checkout page that we saw earlier.
Yeah, and great thing about this is we also added NFC support. So if you guys have Bolt cards or like you can create your own LN URL cards at home, it's basically the same flow. Like I can just tap on the NFC here. Once he generates an invoice, it will read it out.
Yeah, and it's paid.
Yeah, and great thing about it is that we can also print it out. So let's do that. It's fun.
So this is the print view of the receipt.
It's a little bit hard to see, but yeah, that's basically what you see on the screen here.
And now it will just print in a minute.
Yeah, maybe Wi-Fi is a little bit slower, but yeah, there we go.
Okay, and there it is.
Yeah. And to some people, you know, maybe there are people here who would think, oh yeah, but they're just recreating, you know, what already exists. It's not. Like, you are in complete control of this. Like, this is our hardware that we purchased of AliExpress, I think, and like it's connected through our server. So we are recreating that same experience, but like we own everything. It's completely private and it's ours, so there are no fees. We're not leaking any information to third parties, which is also very powerful, I think. Yeah, I think we're done with the demo for first.
Yeah.
Let's continue with other stuff that we have in store. So one more use case. We showcase you now the point of sale system, which is for like retailer merchants, but there are also other things that you can do. So I'll need to bump these slides because I forgot, sorry. So e-commerce is a great use case, and this is where Wouter jumps in.
Yeah, so that was retail, but BTC Pay Server is actually very well designed for e-commerce because, like, we saw a very simple store, and you can set it up in like half a minute even. Yeah. So you can have your items on there, but yeah, is that going to be enough for your business? Most likely, you'll want something more like a big store. And for that, we have all kinds of integrations. And this is a list of what we support. So there's like WooCommerce, Shopify, Magento 2 Shopware, PrestaShop, OpenCart. And we have an API, so you can do custom integrations. And so basically, if you have an existing store, you just connect it to BTC Pay Server, and it becomes your payment gateway. So you can just drop like PayPal or whatever. But I just wanted to talk about this for a little minute, because imagine if BTC Pay Server did not exist. What would you be doing then to accept Bitcoin? It would actually be pretty hard, because you would need to generate addresses for each payment. So you need your XPub key, and then you need to watch the blockchain for confirmations and stuff like that. You need a management interface. You would all need to develop that yourself, so it's a lot of work. It's very technical work. And with BTC Pay Server, it's just ready to go. You can just, set it up and you're good to go. So that is a very crucial part of the ecosystem that we are fulfilling.
Yeah, so we are wrapping all of this complex abstracting it to a very simple UI. So we are trying to integrate with as many projects in this space that really do things that are useful to people, multiple implementations. We try to support all of that, because it may seem a lot for a user, but at this stage of adoption, it is really important that people have the option to choose what they really want to use. So we really try to give them that freedom. So there are lots of merchants actually using BTC Pay Server. We told you that we really don't know who is using it, but there is like a directory that we made in order to help them promote their businesses. So this directory maybe is not well designed, but soon our friends at Bitcoin Design here in the first row will help us redesign it completely. But basically, this is like a directory which will help people submit their business and advertise themselves. It's completely voluntarily. People just want their business there. They want to associate with BTC Pay Server or advertise people that they accept Bitcoin. They come here, submit their business, and that's all. If you don't want to, you don't have to. So you can go to that list, directory.btcpayserver.org, and check who is using BTC Pay Server, at least the one that want you to know. There are also random Twitter people using BTC Pay Server. I don't know what's up with them lately, but they've been using BTC Pay Server. As you can see, this Anon on Twitter used an internal and open source software that operates Bitcoin nodes directly. I have no idea what he's talking about, which software, but yeah, we kind of get just what he wanted to say there. There are also very big merchants like Namecheap. They tweeted out that they're like accepting Bitcoin via BTC Pay Server for a year, and like just look at the volume that they have. That makes it like 500 Bitcoin transactions per day for Namecheap. So they're like great merchant and early adopter in a way, or adopter for us, because we get a ton of feedback and we know how to improve, what we need to improve. And it's very good that we are in constant contact with them and other merchants. We have like an online chat where people just arrive and complain whenever there is an issue. I'm sure lots of you are in that chat and complaining when something is not working. So thank you for being there. Okay, now we would like to do a demo of our e-commerce flow. We will use one of our supporters as well. They're called iVPN. It's a great VPN service. So they also use custom integration for BTC Pay Server. They don't use like WooCommerce or Shopify. They completely custom integrated this into their flow. So it is very easy for them, because you know that your VPN provider is serious when they have like their own payment processor and are not leaking payment information to anybody. So that's good to know. Here you can just select the plan. 1 year, maybe we can choose 1 week. And you can just, pay whatever you want. We will go with Bitcoin, of course. Let's pay with Bitcoin this time. And it is the same flow. Like they don't even, their flow allow them not to have like any KYC as well. So it's just QR code. You scan it, it's done, and they give you an account. I don't think even email is required. So that's, I guess, a very powerful workflow as well. So you can really be flexible and creative with BTC Pay Server, because, yeah, there are lots of options in our API that you can use.
Thank you.
Thank you, kind stranger. Now we have a VPN for a week, right?
For a week, yeah.
Cool.
Are you going to use it?
I'm already actually a user of theirs.
I'm already using it as well.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so after demo, I will need you guys to switch me to slides again. And I guess I stole your show for the.
Fine.
Yeah. One more use case of BTC Pay Server is, yes, point of sale app, e-commerce integrations, but one powerful feature that we created, I think 2 or 3 years ago, that we saw that people really use is crowdfunding feature that we have. Basically, we allow you to create your own crowdfunding campaign, and then you can raise for whatever cause you want in Bitcoin. And I already mentioned a few people that use, slides are not that good here, but like we are all Hodl Node campaign was using BTC Pay Server. Bitcoin Smiles, I will talk about that in a moment. And also Bitcoin for Tor was using BTC Pay Server to raise funds through BTC Pay. And maybe we can now switch to, again, the Bitcoin Smiles website so that we can show the flow and donate to a charity that accepts Bitcoin. bitcoinsmiles.org is website. It is an initiative that I founded with Enrique from El Salvador. If we were not, like I'm from Serbia, he's from El Salvador, we never met each other, but by having this software, we were able to like kickstart a foundation for people without any paperwork, without anything. It's just the two of us having access to Bitcoin right away thanks to BTC Pay Server. And if you go to donate, this is like the page. You can click contribute. You can read the story. What we are doing there is basically fixing teeth for elderly people in El Salvador and also kids. So strangers around the internet and Bitcoin community donated to this cause, and nearly 2 Bitcoin has been raised. A lot of companies as well donated to support the cause. So we managed to get dentures for over 50 people now, over 30 kids, and it's just direct, without any intermediary, without even having to, set up a company, do all that boring paperwork. No, because El Salvador uses Bitcoin, he completely pays all the expenses right in Bitcoin, so it's like direct donation right away, and we don't have any costs. It was very easy to set up. Took us maybe a few days it took more to write actual copy and text than anything else. So that's it. You can just pick any of these amounts that you want. Maybe we can choose whatever. And yeah, it's the same flow as you can see. If somebody wants, you can donate. If $10 is too much, I understand that as well. You don't want to spend it there.
It's actually a little bit different because this time you have the payment page in a modal, and not on a separate page. So that's also an option.
Yeah, well, if we want to really say what is different here we are using a unified QR code. I don't know if a lot of you guys know about this, but here we managed to unify the QR code. Thank you, kind stranger. We managed to unify this QR code for Lightning and on-chain, because people like to have these tabs, switch between Lightning, switch to on-chain, but you can actually unify that experience for the user. And there is a website, I think it's bitcoinqr.dev, that really well sums up this specific use case on how you can improve that flow for people. So that's also one of the use cases that we wanted to showcase you guys. Let's move on to, getting paid is another use case. Do you want to talk about it? Should I? Okay, I keep stealing everything from you, so sorry. Okay, so we covered crowdfunding. You can also use BTC Pay Server if you're just a freelancer or you want to invoice your clients. So to do that, we have a feature called payment request. Because traditionally, if you want to request Bitcoin from somebody, what do? You ask for their address. Okay, you tell them, pay me 0.00345 Bitcoin. And then by the time they reply to your text, rate change. So what do you do then? Then you ask them again, are you online? Oh yeah, I'm in. Let's do the transaction. Can you send me? Yes. So we've been thinking how we can solve this problem for people, because invoicing through Bitcoin can be tricky. So we introduced this feature called payment request. It allows you to basically create an invoice for your clients. So let's create one. It is similar flow. Pablo needs pay me. Okay. I guess I need to pay somebody. Sure, Satoshis. You can make it quite customizable, you can do expiration date, but we won't do all of that now. You can add descriptions, why, maybe logo design, whatever. Pay me. Okay, I'll pay you quickly. Okay. And you just create it. And if you go to view, this is how it looks. So you send this link to your client, and you can invoice. We did Satoshis now as a standard, but you can just say 100 euros or 10 euros. And when they click pay the invoice, it will fetch an exact rate at that moment. And there is no then there are no doubts. Oh, okay, let's, so there is no going back and forth. We generate invoice, they paid, you get it into your invoice. You can use our invoice export to manage these invoices. Thank you very much. We'll make sure to use this for beers tonight. So yeah, this is it. It's also a great feature. Lots of people don't know about it. That's why we wanted to showcase, but you can really use it to invoice clients as well. Personal wallet is one. Maybe, would you want to talk about the wallet thing a little bit, or?
Sure. So basically, we've covered all the professional use cases, but you can also use BTC Pay Server for yourself, personally. It's a really great wallet. We have all the latest features and stuff like that. So we have coin selection and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and it also connects directly to your full node, as I said earlier. So no leaking information to any other servers except your own. So maybe we can demo wallet quickly, Bas, right? Let's go. Just showcase the interface, and we won't go too much into it, but. Okay, so if you go to the, let's say, send page of the wallet, now we don't have any transactions on chain for this specific wallet, but it's basically like this, just the regular wallet that we have. Nothing special about it. We have tons of advanced features. We do have coin selection, which is important for people who like their privacy and want to manage their UTXOs properly. So you can use it as a personal wallet. We won't, I guess, spend too much time. You can also receive through the wallet as well. Yeah, generating an address. This UI is something we're still working on, ironing out, but that you get the point. It's just a regular wallet that you usually would use. I guess we go back to slides now.
Okay, so we mentioned plugins before, and if you go to plugins on the back end, this is actually what you see. So there's like a lot of plugins already available or pre-installed, and we'll be making more. So this is that page.
Yeah, and if you're a developer wanting to integrate feature in BTC Pay Server, feel free to like pack it up as a plugin and just use it, because one problem we wanted to solve with plugins is like as maintainers, we want our core software to be secure, stable, but we have a vibrant community. People come up to us, hey, I want this, I want that, you know, and we really don't want to, like we do want to have features for them, but we don't want to have like feature creep. So we introduced plugins, so now they don't need to wait for us. They can either hire some developer to code it for them, they can code it themselves, or they can use a bunch of plugins that we already offer to like have a specific use case they do. And that allows us to focus on core software while giving a little bit of more experimental things for users who are advanced, want to have more features and things like that. So.
Yeah, so now I'm going to talk a bit about an upcoming feature, and this is something I've been working on for the past, I think, 9 months or so. Okay, thank you. So that's exchange support, and also, yeah, that means dealing with fiat, because previously we were not able to do that. So the problem is that the merchant, he has his funds in multiple places, funds on exchange, on-chain, and on his Lightning node. So it's hard to get like an overview of where's my money and how much do I have, and yeah, how is it balanced across these three different wallets, basically. And then also, because you're a merchant, there might be multiple people who have access to different wallets, so that also needs to be managed somehow. And yeah, automating the process is kind of hard. So the solution is, so we add exchange support, and you can manage everything from inside BTC Pay Server. So you don't need to go to an exchange website anymore and do some actions over there and then get back into BTC Pay and etc. And you can automate everything through the API. Yeah. The solution I came up with, we called it custodian accounts. So it's not like exchanges, literally, but a custodian account is basically any account that you have with a custodian. It's much more broader than just exchanges. So the idea is that anything can be a custodian. You could even like potentially have another BTC Pay store act as a custodian for one of your existing stores, or you could be like a multinational company and have like different stores per country or something like that, and you can see like your balance or move funds from your store to the parent company, etc. Because it's just a custodian, and yeah, what you need to have to create a custodian is like anything that can hold a balance can be a custodian. And like depositing support, that's optional, withdrawing is optional, trading is optional. So yeah, it can literally be anything as long as it holds some funds or some tokens even. It doesn't have to be a Bitcoin even, could even be stocks potentially or whatever. Okay, and some ideas for this is that it could even be like your fiat bank account could be a custodian. So you could see your balance of that in BTC Pay. Or it can be like your PayPal account or something like that as well. So how to use it? So you need to go to server settings, and then under policies, there's a checkbox, enable experimental features. You need to check that because this is still experimental. It's not visible straight away. And then you get this extra link in the sidebar that says add custodian. You need to select a custodian, And currently, the one I'm working on is for Kraken, because I'm a Kraken user myself. But through plugins, you'll be able to add more. So this is the first one. And the next step is you need to enter an API key and a private key to make the connection. You can get this on the Kraken website, obviously. You go to your account, security API, add a key. You configure it like this. And then this is what you get. Like, this is the overview of what's on my Kraken account. I have some Bitcoin and some euros. And you can see the price, the fiat value, stuff like that. You can convert assets. So there's the trade link. And you can just enter what you want to convert. You can type in the Bitcoin amount, or you can click a percentage. You will see the price. You'll see how much will remain after the trade. And then you can execute. So you can change the assets as well. All kinds of shitcoins. And then this is what you get. So this is the ledger entries from your account. So I gained some euros, I lost some Bitcoin, and I lost some euros because of a fee. And the trade ID is also visible, so that's very handy. Withdrawing. So for withdrawing, you need to configure something first. So you need to name the destination for your store that you're withdrawing to. This is because Kraken just works like that. They have like an address book feature, and you need to use it that way. That's the limitation of their API. It's not something I invented, but we are just following what they are asking us to do. So in your Kraken account, you need to create a destination, and that has a label. In this case, it's just my store wallet, and that's the word I need to put in. So if I then go to withdraw, I can select how I want to withdraw, my destination, the quantity, and I just click withdraw. And again, I see the ledger entries on my account, so I lost some BTC because I withdrew. I paid a fee for that. The IDs, transaction ID, and target address. So everything that's involved with that. Then last is depositing. So there are two ways. You can hit the button at the top or in the table. And you get like a QR code where you need to send the funds. You can also click Create Transaction at the bottom. And then you go to the Create Transaction page for your personal wallet, and everything is pre-filled. So you just can deposit very quickly. So with this in place, we have custodian support, exchange support, and now the next thing is like automation. And this is a bit more technical, but basically we have a full API, so everything can be automated. And for non-developers, we have Zapier integration, and that just allows you to automate these things as well by connecting a few building blocks, and you don't need to code anything. And this is like a really great way for prototyping or experimenting. And then maybe at the later stage, if you hit like a huge volume, then you can code your own implementation. And that's just, yeah, how that goes. All right.
Yeah, before we go into that, I just wanted to show you guys, like this is very advanced use case, and we integrated that through, plugins and things like that. So it allows very advanced things in a very simple. We're hoping that it's simple software for just regular people, like merchants that would want to use it. But if they're like, somebody with advanced use cases, this is like the exact showcase of what you can do with plugins. So very advanced stuff. Yeah, as we said, BTC Pay Server is really not a company. We are an open source project. We do have like a foundation called BTC Pay Server Foundation, where entities donate and support the work of our core contributors. This is the shadowy supercoders on the left, coding BTC Pay Server, and this is us as well, the team here, missing a few people, but like as you see, it's like a small team of people, but a very big community, lots of contributors around us as well. So we are very thankful to have all of you here as well, all of the contributors. It really makes us do what we do. This is what like keeps us pushing, just the community that we have around this software. So we do have interns of all age, as you can see. We recently recruited this one intern that you may recognize here on the photo. but actually he was just cold and needed a hoodie, so yeah. This is our community. We do organize BTC Pay server days sometimes. This was from the latest one in Riga this year on Baltic Honey Badger. Quite a lot of people. It's not all people wanted to take a photo, but as you see, a lot of people in community are excited about BTC Pay server, like it, use it, and we really appreciate that. It means a lot to us, and we just appreciate all of you guys here as well. As I said, BTC Pay server wouldn't be possible without the foundation and the supporters that allow us to work on what we do full time. We have Spiral, Bailey Guilford, Strike, HRF, PNXBet, Lunanode, Wallet of Satoshi, Numix, CoinCards, and IVPN. These are entities that basically donate to us so that we can work on this thing full time, and we're also very grateful to them. And I'm not sure how we are with the time, but do we have time for questions? We do. Okay. Let's open it up for questions, suggestions. Feel free to yell at us if something doesn't work and you're an angry user. So if we have an extra mic, or we can maybe give this one. Yeah, raise your hand. You have? Okay, cool. Any questions? Okay. First one here. Microphone. Oh, I need to be mic guy as well. Okay. I'll just keep running and talking.
You said at the beginning that your Lightning implementation is custodial at the moment, or?
Sorry. No, keep it. We will need it. So actually, no. If you run your own server, it's your node. But if you want to onboard your friends to it, then you need to share your node with them, and that's custodial. But if you're using it as a single user, it's your own Lightning node. Okay. More questions? Okay, we have one there as well. Come on, Wouter, you can do it faster.
So yeah, this is something I experience with merchants a lot. Some of them find unhandy sometimes to show, I mean physical stores, right? Not e-commerce. Sometimes they find it hard to put a QR because they need a specific screen for that. So do you think it's possible to have some sort of plugin where I put a smart QR and I put it into listening mode, but the QR is printed and it's always like the same? Do you get me?
Yeah, well, this is in a way already possible. We just...
like mobile pay. It's only one QR and the merchant put it in listening mode.
Yeah, have you tried the point of sale? There is a mode called offline mode where you can basically...
I've never tried the offline mode of the point of sale.
It's hidden away a little bit, but maybe we can create a better UI for it. It just we aren't aware that many people are using it, but that solves your specific use case. So just having a single QR code so that people who don't have access can just have a QR code, you scan it, and it will work with LN URL.
Interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome. One more here.
Awesome, guys. Congratulations. When I was young, I used to work in a credit card company. I quit. And they are continuing with the analogy about the point of sales that you show us. Have you ever think in a way to BTC Pay it will be compliant with some kind of security certifications from that kind of industry, like PCI, DSSA, things like that? Because I think, it's a suggestion, you talk a little bit about security. So if you want to go to market broadly, you have to talk more about compliance, right?
Yeah, so when it comes to security, it's an open source software. You can go to GitHub and any developer can audit the code. For example, Tesla did that. Their team actually found a few things and they reported it to us. So the more eyes on the code, the better in terms of code security. But also, it's hard because it's self-hosted software. We are not trying to be a company and a single entity. So in a way, it's up to like user who would like to onboard. So if, for example, if you would like to use BTC Pay Server to onboard people locally, raise funds, become a company, you can do that. We actually encourage people to fork the code, white label BTC Pay if you want. We are building infrastructure for you to build a business. So if there is like economic incentive specifically for you and your team, why not do that? You can do that, cater to your local laws, and then use this software to onboard merchants. Because to us, that's what matters. We want people to use Bitcoin. And if this is the way we build free software you guys can use, modify it, be compliant with whatever you want. Us specifically, we just want to code. So we don't want to deal with that. That's why we're putting it out to public. And that allows us actually to have like this kind of software that is like, you know, has a lot of feedback and it's built in the public as well. And yeah, but you're free to modify it if you want and make it compliant. That's up to you. Any more questions? Okay, one here.
Do I need a full node to run BTC Pay Server, or is it an SPV client?
That's a great question. If you want to self-host it, it comes with a full node already packed in. So when you like run it on a server, everything is installed for you already. But you can connect, if you have an external node somewhere, technically you can connect and use that node and just use BTC Pay Server as like an interface. But it needs a full node. But you can, in order to save space, you can prune it as well. But but it's very good that merchants actually are running full nodes. That's like the core feature of BTC Pay Server. But if you're onboarding people to your own node, those users to your server, those users wouldn't be running full node. But you can progressively onboard them. So you onboard them slowly, and then when they're ready, you can just install server for themselves or things like that. But yeah, all merchants self-hosting BTC Pay Server are full nodes. Okay, we have one in the back.
So you're advising against connecting to your own node. What were your main concerns or things to be aware of in that use case?
No. So I'm not advising against it. It's like a little bit technically more challenging for a regular user who already runs a full node. But our software already comes with a full node packed for users that don't want to deal with it. But if you're running Node already, you can connect it with just BTC Pay Server and not use. We basically pack everything up in Docker for you so that you don't have to worry about all of these complexities.
So it's purely technical load that you're concerned about?
Yes. Just our users are mostly merchants, and but developers are free to experiment, connect, and.
So I'm creating a web page at the moment, a web blog, where you can pay with, where a paywall is existing, so you can pay with sats, and then you can read the article. And in the back, there's a BTC Pay server, which is running on my own Lightning node at the moment. This is for my studies, so I also have to write an assignment. And my question is actually just, is it possible to get the slides or some more information?
Yeah. We put slides always in our media repo on GitHub as well, so everything will be there if, yeah.
Perfect, thanks.
Thank you. There is one more there.
What about competitors to BTC Pay Server? I think yesterday, was it? No. Yeah, it was yesterday. LN Bits. Ben Arc.
Yeah, that's cool. The more, the better.
Do you look at them
as competitors?
Yeah, and what if I want to implement a website and a store? Why would I choose for BTCP, or why would I choose for LN Bits? Or is it even?
Yeah.
Is it the same? Or?
I look at Ben as friends, so I don't look at him as competitor. It's great that we have more options. That's what we need. It would be like very, I don't know, stupid to just have a market where BTC Pay Server is the only thing people use. More the better. I'm not sure if like LN Bits is focusing on payment processing type of things, but I know that they also have plugins, but I haven't really looked into it. But we encourage competition. We encourage people to forecast. Like, this space needs to grow, and it's good that we have competitors, but I don't look at them as competitors, to be honest. There are like centralized payment processing companies that can be competitors to us, but like, we give you way more than just like processing payments. You're basically, if you look at other centralized company, you're basically becoming payment processor for yourself and your friends, and they don't give you that. So, yeah, the more the better, I guess.
And the thing is also with these companies, they take a fee. They take a fee and they do KYC for your customers. So that's also like something you may not like.
But to answer for LNbits, I have to watch Ben's presentation later. I'm not sure what they are up to, but great if they're building. That's perfect.
Anybody else have any questions?
One here.
Is there an auction plugin?
Auction, no, but that's actually a good idea. There is a website here on the conference in the exhibition area, I think Scarcity. They're using BTC Pay Server as a payment processor for their auction website as well. But having an auction within the BTC Pay Server is a great idea. Maybe we need to log this issue and just consider it as a feature, potentially as a plugin. That's a great idea. Love it.
I have another one. What if someone creates millions of invoices, but just as an attack? How can I deal with that?
With spam, you mean somebody coming to your server just generating invoices?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a possible attack vector. I'm not aware of any merchants reporting that. Wouter, are you? Maybe do you have any idea how we would? Yeah, not really aware. I'm sure like maybe there is a mechanism in place that we can set up, but I'm not aware that we have it. Yeah, we haven't seen reports of people like generating empty invoice. I mean, what could they do? They could just increase gap limit for you for on-chain transactions, but you know you're running full node anyway, so you can always rescan it easily. So. Okay, any final questions? I'm not sure if we are up to time or no. Okay. No? Okay, guys, then thank you so much. Thank you. If you have any questions, want to discuss BTC Pay Server, want to try the point of sale thingy, get your receipt or whatever, feel free to find the guys in green t-shirts and bug us. We would like to talk to you. And yeah, feel free to provide any feedback or ideas. That's how we grow and improve anyway. Thank you.